The day I almost quit building the sim. So, about a couple years ago, 3 years back, let's actually back up even before then. When I first started the sim, it was just for me. And then I happened to come across the actual airplanes. Yeah, guys! Flight Sim Jammer here. Here is our real planes that we are making into a simulator. Woo! And the family was like, you know, this could make good YouTube content, and maybe someday it could pay for itself. And I was like, okay, well that would be cool. And so if you go back to the beginning, you will see the video where we're bringing the sim home, when we're bringing the airplanes home. And you could see it in my face. It was such a magical day. I didn't think that would ever happen. I didn't think there was any chance ever of getting an actual airplane and being able to turn it into a flight sim. So we get them home. Everything's going good. My family was like, you know, if you need help, let us know. And most of the stuff is a one-person deal. And the big thing that probably most YouTubers will say is that the editing is the hard part. Also, coming up after 5 years, coming up with new content to do is also kind of hard. However, mainly the editing. It takes hours and hours to do it, and I'm not a professional at it. Some of those professionals could probably spend days editing, re-editing what I did and making it better. Fast forward, you know, a year or something down the road, I was getting behind on editing, and that was just posting once a month and no shorts. That when I first started, I don't even know if it was once a month. It was just doing something, recording it, and putting it out. There's no timeline, and it was just so defeating after you do it for a year. And I don't even remember now because it's not that big of a deal, but there was only like 6 subscribers, and most of those, if not all, were my family, and they don't watch the videos. They are not into planes, and they are not into flight sim, so you can't expect them to watch the videos. And then there's the cost of stuff. We don't have a lot of disposable income, and trying to make videos happen with almost no income about a specific niche product that uses expensive equipment is really hard. And I was just like, you know what? I can't do this on top of my daily household activities that need to be done. And so I did stop for a month or so, a couple months. I don't remember the exact length of time that I quit doing it. However, I just picked it back up one day and I was like, well, let's just keep going. It might have been the gauge build or something. Something was coming up and I was really excited about it, and I just kept going. And when I hit 100 subscribers, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe that we did it. We got 100 subscribers. That was about the time that you only had to either have a lot of subscribers or some watch time, and YouTube would monetize you, and we were so close. And then they changed it. They changed it from something that is realistic for most people to get to something that is extremely hard. The last 3 years I've been trying really hard to monetize and get subscribers, and I'm up to 423 now. But that a lot has changed. I started posting once a week main videos and 3 times a week with shorts. And let me tell you, between 100 subscribers and the 400, there was another time that I was like, it's just not working. It's not worth doing. And we should stop. I'm to the point where the sim is close and nobody's watching the videos. They're getting like 10-15 minutes in, and 10 or 15 seconds in and skipping by, because it's the content that I'm doing with the flight sim is you're there to just support me, so you watch it for a little bit, or you really are interested in that specific topic. And if you're like me, you just skip through the video to find what you actually need the help with. That's what a lot of us do on YouTube. And so, yeah, like I say, going from 100 to 400, it was kind of crazy. It took a long time to hit 100, and then from 100, it just kept growing. And one day I looked and we were at like 300. I was like, holy crap. And it seemed like it wasn't overnight, but it seemed like overnight. Now we're so close to hitting 500 subscribers and getting the first tier of being monetized. And it gives you a new kick, a new goal. You're like, okay, well, hey, YouTube has seen that I am being consistent in posting, and I tried to watch some of the videos of people, how to grow your channel, and none of that stuff seemed to work for our channel because it's really niche. But think about it. Even though it's a niche topic, flight sim, and I know 2 people personally that kind of they do flight sim, but not to my extent, or they would want a flight sim but don't have the room in their house or the money to do it and the disposable income to do it. But when you start thinking in the big term or the big picture, we have 423 subscribers, and a lot of them are males my age, not all of them, because the analytics kind of give you an idea of who's watching your stuff. But if you think about how many people are in the world, I don't know that number. I'm not a math person. However, there's got to be a good group of people, a good number of people that are willing to watch this content. So when you're starting to get down and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I want to keep doing this, just remember, you're not the only one that likes what you're into. Say you want to start a YouTube about games, or you just want to sit and talk like a podcast, and you don't know what you want to do the podcast about, just start. And it's really, really, really hard not to be defeated when nothing happens. But take it from me, we went, I think, up until last year, 2024, because we're just in 2026. Up until last year, we barely had 100 subscribers. It grew so much, so fast. I did a couple lives. I need to do a few more of those. That brings in, there's a lot of people that do Twitch and TikTok lives and things like that, doing game streams. And it's hard for me to sit down for a couple hours and just play. However, I think that brought in a lot of people. And, you know, don't necessarily worry about having a perfect product. You don't want it to be super sloppy, but do the best you can with what you have. There's so many free trial period things out there that you can try to help edit your stuff. If you notice, I've been now posting once a week main videos and once a day, 5 days a week shorts. And a lot of that is because I found, this is not a sponsored clip, but I found Opus Clip. Opus Clip gives you 60 credits. Each credit is a minute of video that it decodes, and you put in your videos. Let me back up, sorry. It gives you 60 credits a month. You can have it decode your videos that you put in, and you can adjust the length. Each credit is 1 minute of video that it is decoding. So it's looking at, if you put in a 30-minute video, it does 30 credits. However, you can upload the video and only do certain parts of it. Like, for a while I was introducing myself when we started the videos and stuff, and you don't want to pay for that out of those credits, so you know, take that bit out. Well, by putting my videos in there, it goes through my videos and it pulls out the sections of what would make good shorts algorithm. And I know it's AI, and I know there's a lot of, you know, people that like AI, people that don't like AI, and people that think anything that is AI is fake. Well, at this point, I have only ever uploaded anything that I have actually made, except that it knows what points in the video to cut to make a short. It is still all of my information. Anything that is said in it is factual. I watch them. If it tries to do something that I didn't do, I won't use that one. That comes up because I had a couple people message on some of my shorts, this is AI generated, you can't believe it. And it was about, you know, a review of a product, and I responded to that person nicely and said, hey, that is 100% my content. The AI just helps me pick which clips are best to put out. So don't be scared to use that stuff. It's very helpful. It's there. And if somebody you know is willing to help you, just take the help. It makes things a lot easier. Anyhow, hopefully you get something out of this. And at this point, I am shooting for 1,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit the 4,000 hour a year video watch hours to be fully monetized. I think I already, as some of you seen on some of my shirts that I wear, I have Flight Sim Jammer merch. I think I should figure out how to put that on TikTok, Instagram. I don't know. I'm not very social media savvy, so well, I should get that stuff out there, and then people can support me in that. Be looking out for some upcoming videos, we're building a flap lever for the EAA sim, and that's going to be made out of a car brake handle, and that I won't be able to video the kids actually building it. However, just know that the kids are completely building this. I will try to do a short video when we're done with our sessions and they leave of the progress. And I'm building a trim wheel because the sim that we have now doesn't have a trim wheel. The original plane had its original trim wheel and I converted it to work. So, little sneak peek, I'm hoping to make this motorized, so when you have autopilot on, the trim actually moves. It's a file that I found, and if it works out and the video comes out, I'll make sure to tag where I get the stuff from and what I used. It's not going to be fully based on theirs. I'm going to do the programming ourselves and use different components than what they used, but the STL of the actual file is from them. And I still have a G1000 build. That's one of those projects that we were talking about earlier, that it starts, and that's the one that is, I have everything to do it. I just don't have the space dedicated to where I can lay it out and record and not have to worry about blocking the room out and things like that. So we might jump back into that. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel. If you catch this on one of our shorts platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels, even YouTube Shorts, please jump over to the main YouTube page, click the subscribe button there, share it there, leave a comment, let me know when was a time that you just thought about giving up doing the sim. Maybe it was too hard, you couldn't get the parts, you were like, ugh. And then what was the moment that you were like, yeah, we're doing it? Let me know that in the comments. Thank you for all your guys' help. Thank you for watching. You guys have a great day, and remember, land safely.